Like many Brits who want to own a holiday home in Spain, I also caught this fever a while ago. I started looking at properties online and visited some estate agents. Everything was nearly finalised, but suddenly I struck into a problem that made me reconsider my decision. Hello everyone, Ola, I hope you're all well, and today I will be talking about the squatting problem here in Spain. So some of you may know that my dream is to own a holiday home in Spain where I can take holiday 2 to 3 times a year as well as let it out. So I visited Torrevieja in February this year, 2025. While I was here, I visited 2 estate agents in the hope of finding my perfect holiday home. And you know what? They do not tell you anything about these problems here in Spain, as they just want to sell their property, make a sale, and earn their commission. I always use Rightmove and Idealista when searching for properties in Spain, and I could not believe that while looking through the Idealista search engine, the amount of properties for sale that are illegally occupied, or ocupada in Spanish. So you cannot view these properties as they have non-paying tenants who are illegally squatting in these properties. So these properties are greatly reduced in price as the owners have had enough and just want to sell on their dream home, and they may have to take a big loss, and this is only if someone is willing to buy a property with legal tenants in. And whoever does take on a property has then got the big headache of trying to get the squatters moved out. Just imagine if you were buying a property here and you took out a mortgage only for someone else to come and live in your property. That's just crazy. The Spanish government and their rules is totally all for the squatters in my opinion. Forget about the poor homeowners. So if someone illegally enters your property whilst you're not there, you have 48 hours to contact the police and get them removed from your property. And once it goes over the 48-hour period, then you are in trouble, as it will then have to be challenged in a court, where it can take such a long time, even years, to get your property back. So they not only have your property, they have all the bills paid and utilities by you, the homeowner, as you are still responsible for paying all bills and electricity, even if you're not living there, as it is your legal responsibility to pay these, and shutting off the water and electricity supply to force squatters to leave is illegal. Can you believe this? And can lead to serious legal consequences, including charges for intimidation and coercion. So at the end of the day, the squatters have more rights than the homeowners. It's absolute madness. Also, you are not allowed to change the locks, block the driveway or entrance, or intimidate them whilst the squatters are in your property, as this can get you as the homeowner in trouble, and you can face legal action, which can be very lengthy and expensive. Anyway, with all this in mind, many banks may advise you to get an alarm system fitted if you're purchasing the property, but this is not mandatory. And if you're going to let your property out, I would definitely get one whilst you're not in the country for your own benefit. So then if the alarm goes off, this will be directed straight to the monitoring service, and then they will contact the police once the alarm has been verified, and then they can remove the squatters within the 48-hour period. I noticed many houses have these alarm systems in place. They cost around 40 to 50 euros a month. So anyone buying properties are forced to use these alarm systems. Also, many squatters' families have children as well as dogs and cats, as this can delay the eviction process due to the social services being involved in the safety and welfare of children, and also the strict animal protection services in Spain. This will certainly prolong the eviction process in the best interests of the squatters. It is known that a high proportion of squatters are actually Spanish nationals who have financial difficulties due to affordable lack of housing, and a high percentage of these occupy homes in Barcelona. Others who occupy homes are foreign nationals who are seeking refuge, or even British expats. Anyway, in the news this week, an 84-year-old British man has been struggling for 5 years to get these British squatters out of his home on the Costa del Sol in Spain, and this is still ongoing. I feel so sorry for this guy and many others who are going through this challenging situation. Another I heard about is the Hotel Bellevue Club Mallorca in Alcudia, Spain, which has been taken over by around 50 squatters, and there were found to be up to 150 by the time the squatters' eviction company was called in to remove and rehouse all into alternative accommodation. These squatters intended to stay as they say they are unable to afford the high rents in Spain. They apparently had electricity but no water. They have finally been removed on in time for the holiday season, which starts on 1st of April 2025. There are private companies that specialise in helping property owners to recover their properties. These companies work within the law and often work in conjunction with lawyers. To find private companies that help with this type of situation, search for squatter eviction companies in Spain. So after all of this information I have acquired regarding this really big problem with squatters over here in Spain, it has totally shattered my dreams of owning a property in Spain, and it is very disheartening. I mean, I couldn't even set it up as an Airbnb, as the guests could refuse to leave and change the locks, and same goes for long stay lets, where they can stay beyond their tenancy agreement and just stay in my property illegally. So therefore, I have no option to buy a property in Spain, as the law here gives the squatters a win-win situation. I do understand the position of people who do squatting, and the government has rules to protect people, but isn't it unfair for homeowners? The government should also pass laws to protect homeowners. So let me know in the comments what you think about this problem and whether it has affected your decision to buy a property in Spain. Also, if you're living in Spain, I would like to hear your stories and if a squatting incident happened near you. The next video will be on Brexit, so subscribe if you haven't already to know my take on Brexit. Thanks for watching my video until the end. If you find this video useful, again, please do like and subscribe to my channel. See you in the next one. Bye for now. Adios amigos.